What's going on, everybody? In this video I want to talk about how we can actually find the equations of these lines algebraically, and not just through the use of a graph, but using the definition of the linear function in order to find equations of lines that meet certain criteria. So let's say for this example I was given the point 10, -3, and the slope is -1/2. So the goal for me is to get this into a form that looks like y is equal to mx plus b. And here's the procedure on how to do it. So we have a point to work with, and we also have a slope to work with. Okay, so we can use a form called the point slope form, which is y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. And so what we're going to do is we're going to substitute the point that we have and the slope that we have into this equation and then isolate the y. So to do this, I've got y minus a -3 is equal to -1/2 times x minus 10. And then I just use the rules of algebra that I learned before to isolate the y, and then we'll have the equation in the form that we're looking for. So I have y plus 3, whenever I cancel the negatives on this side, is equal to -1/2 x plus 5. And then to get y by itself, I just subtract 3 from both sides. So I've got y is equal to -1/2 x plus 2 as my answer. So what this line is the line that has the slope that we're looking for that also passes through this point. And it's also in the form that we want. So what if I want to find the line that goes through the point -8,5 and has a slope of 0? Well, check out what happens whenever I plug in these values into the point slope formula. So I'm going to have y minus 5 is equal to 0 times x minus a -8. And guess what? Whenever I distribute the 0 out, I've got y minus 5 is equal to 0x plus 0 times 8. So 0 times anything is 0, so this just goes away. And then what I'm left with is y minus 5 is equal to 0. And if I add 5 to both sides, I get y is equal to 5. And this is consistent with this form right here, y is equal to mx plus b, because if my slope is 0, then this term goes away, and I'm just left with y is equal to b. And this b is the y-intercept. So it doesn't matter what x value I have, I'm still going to go through the point y is equal to 5, which you can see right here. This isn't the y-intercept per se, but it still goes through the y value of 5. So what if I have 2 points? So in the previous video I made about how to find slope, we're going to be using that technique. So we know that the slope is equal to rise over the run, which is just the change in the y values divided by the change in the x values. So if I choose the second ordered pair to be x2, y2, what I have is I have 2 minus a 0, that's y2 minus y1, divided by 6 minus a -1 here. And when I work out the math, I have a 2 over 7 as my slope. So I've got one piece of the puzzle, but what do I do from here? So the next thing that you can do is you can select one of these points to plug into the point slope formula. I generally choose the one with smaller numbers because it makes the arithmetic a little bit easier, but I'm going to be using the point slope formula. So it's y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. I'm going to choose this point right here for my x1, y1 just because the values are easy, and one of them is a 0, which I really like. So if I plug it in, I've got y minus 0 is equal to m. Oops. We found out what m is. It's 2 over 7, so I'm going to plug it in. 2 over 7 times x minus -1. And then you just work out the math. And I've got y is equal to 2 over 7 times x plus 2 over 7 as my answer. So notice how we have it in the form that we want y is equal to mx plus b. All right, the last example on this topic, I've got 2 points, which means that I can find the slope. Slope is rise over run, so I've got y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. And in this case, it's going to be negative 1 minus 2 divided by 6 minus 11. And when you work out the math, I have a negative 3 on top, I've got a negative 5 on the bottom, which is just 3 over 5. That doesn't look too good. Yeah. There we go. 3 over 5 is our slope. And then I'm going to choose one of these points to plug into the point slope formula. And I'm going to choose the first one again. So I've got y minus 2 is equal to 3 over 5 times x minus 11. So I'm going to have y minus 2 is equal to 3 over 5x minus 33 over 5. And then I just add 2 to both sides to isolate the y, and then I'll have the equation of my line. So when I do that, I've got y is equal to 3 over 5 times x plus, whoops, minus 23 over 5. And this is my answer. So I hope this video was helpful on how to find the equation of a line. Whether you're given 1 point and a slope or just 2 points, you can still find the equation of the line in slope-intercept form, and then from there you can easily graph it or find the intercepts or do whatever you need to do. So I hope this video was helpful, and stay tuned for the next one. Take care, everybody.